Hello everyone, your favorite team is back in your space and we're actually more than delighted to be here. It's the middleman and we stand by the side of truth as far as we know it and help you find the light out of darkness. Today on the show, Juror Evans Opeli will be pointing to the need for atonement after an attempt to smear a priest in the Temple of Justice. Juror Cyril Abaku will be asking what it all costs to secure justice for ex-Nigerian soldier Private Ruth Ogunleye, while Juror Emeka Magnagu will be firing a scattergun of random thoughts on Nigeria's petrol crisis. He has been on this case for a bit. I will be asking if there's really something special the Efcc guarding. All this in a second. Do not go anywhere, we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Middleman.
Welcome back to the Middleman of Jurors. My case. What is EFCC guarding? We have a saying here, always guarding, meaning fight or no fight, being always at alert and ready to defend oneself. Maybe the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, just got a new social media manager, but recently, EFCC is always guarding. Last week, it was Yaya Bello. This week, it's Bobrisky. Don't get me wrong, it's great for agencies of government to effectively use their social media platforms proactively to inform the public on goings-on. It's not exactly fantastic when all they do on social media is react to accusations. Last week, former governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello's aides, put out pictures of him arriving at the EFCC headquarters in Abuja to honor their invitation. EFCC guarded and said they did not have Yaya Bello in their custody. EFCC, that had declared Yaya Bello wanted, short of putting a bounty on his head, as the EFCC chairman Olukorede had promised to resign if the commission didn't arrest Bello. Anyway, this week, Very Dark Man shared a video where he played audio clips of Bobrisky confessing to having bribed EFCC officials with 15 million naira to drop his money laundering charges. In the audio, Bobrisky said EFCC told him that just being a social media influencer was not enough for him to acquire all his possessions. He went on to allege that he was never really in prison. They put him in a private house for 3 months, which will explain Bobrisky coming out of prison looking fresher. Anyway, it's a can of worms. And again, EFCC guarded. They came on X to post that their chairman has asked that the officers in charge of Bobrisky's case be investigated and they would keep us posted. EFCC investigating itself. What is EFCC guarding against? Of course, Nigerians are skeptical. I mean, chairman after chairman, the commission has been accused of corruption. When it was formed under President Obasanjo, its leadership under current National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu was accused of being used politically to witch hunt opposition members. After Ribadu, there's been constant allegations of the commission seizing a number of assets and declaring less than. Seized 50 houses from one corrupt politician, declared 20 sales from the colonies who spoke for themselves. All sorts of accusations have bedeviled the commission. So I ask again, what is EFCC guarding? Or is it, who is EFCC guarding? If a video of EFCC personnel busting into a hotel manager's room, rushing to give her several slaps and asking her to lead them to the rooms of some of the hotel's guests didn't leak, they may have guarded, telling us the accusations were untrue. Here is my verdict. Which Nigerian government, ministry, department, or agency works as should? Why are Nigerians so corrupt? No leader will solve Nigeria's problems till we get followership right.
This is a very strong case.
It's a very strong case because EFCC is a bogus institution. It's a bogus institution that have almost come to the end of itself by virtue of the kind of operative they recruit into the place. People don't get there by merit; they get there by connections. So the fruits of that indulgence is not far-fetched. I mean, it's very close to what we are seeing. You see, this investigation is going to be very difficult. I know EFCC. EFCC, when they take bribes in huge amounts, don't pay it into their accounts.
Lawyer.
They don't.
This is a huge accusation.
I'm just telling you. No, I know what I'm saying. I was their guest now. I was in EFCC for 10 days. So I know. So I'm not saying.
But they want to consent to now.
No, you don't Yes, now don't contract. So I'm just telling you why the investigation will be difficult. You understand? Because you see, if Bobrisky is saying I gave 15 million,
Jesus.
and even if he mentioned the name of the person he gave the 15 million, the court does not care about that. The court wants Idris to bring evidence to that effect. And these people, except maybe he paid a foolish one among them, the money, they don't pay those funds into their account and they don't accept transfer. Even if you have to do transfer, they use a POS person.
Speaking of slush funds.
Yes.
Proper slush fund.
To conceal trace.
Proper slush fund.
Yeah, you know, part of EFCC's responsibility under the extant law, FCC Act 2004, 2003, Operations Act 2004. Part of it is tracing. Tracing is part of the responsibility. And, so it's going to be difficult. He or she can keep saying, I gave. See? You gave. We have to. It's not enough. It's not enough. You could be saying that maliciously as a star witness.
Oh, true.
Yes, because as a star witness. So
true.
You need to pull through.
With evidence.
Yeah, the voice is already out there. Okay? That you give. You gave it to who? Now, that who, to unlock that, the EFCC will go a long way to do that. And to see that people are surprised is why I'm surprised.
No, but people were not surprised. We were not investigation.
See, let me tell you the surprise part. The surprise part is when Bobrisky said he never went to prison. Nigerians were surprised.
And I'm surprised.
Yeah, you are surprised.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be surprised because there was one of the what
you are saying means that I can see 1 billion and pay somebody 3 million, 15 million not to go to jail.
Somebody picked from the
sale. You don't need to have 1 million.
53,000 awaiting judgment.
See, do you know that?
Yes.
Do you know that people who have money swap inmates?
Yes.
In Nigeria. You know that you can commit an offense now and you have sufficient money to give someone who is ready, who is desperate. He collects that money, settle his family, and he goes into the prison to serve it. Yes.
Yes.
When did we start doing biometrics in the prison? Why wouldn't it be possible?
Yeah.
Who goes there to evaluate whether all the inmates are actual inmates?
I had a colleague.
When Shoembo went into the prison to do investigation, how come they could not unlock the fact that he was in there for investigation? So I'm just telling you that.
In fact, Shoembo has, entered this matter and said, I'm surprised, truly talking like
why are you surprised?
He said, I'm surprised that Nigerians don't even know the words of Nigeria. But when you just want to know, just go and Google my investigation when I went to a
that's what I'm telling you. So at the end of the day, this prison, this is what we're talking about. We are just joking.
Possible, right?
That guy didn't go to any prison.
Jesus.
There was an inmate that I used to know there when I had a client there. He used to drive out and come back in the evening. He built a chapel in Creek Maximum Prison. He goes out for his business and come back in the evening. It's only the wife that have that right for conjugal
visit.
Yeah, visit. And the wife comes in. And when he lives inside there.
No, I know of conjugal visit. But they judge. His wife is to go and come also.
Yes. So the issue is that's part of prison experience. Part of all that. But the issue is that our prison warders, you cannot differentiate. You don't know who needs.
Can I ask you my
question? You don't know who needs rehabilitation, whether the inmates
or the prisons. Sir,
it can do anything.
Therefore, my question again: who is EFCC guarding? Is it our money? Is it financial crime? or their personal pockets.
They are doing self-help. They are helping themselves.
My language comes to Bible. Let me not use it here.
See the freak it and service it.
Or from boy. Anybody,
It's self-help.
anything was very rich, and just carry it like that.
Carry out,
Now,
you.
you know, I had a colleague who was investigating Nigerian prison some years ago, and as he did the stuff, he made the standard discovery. You know what they call recidivism? That is the propensity of somebody who has been released to go back to crime.
Oh yeah.
That relapse.
Yeah.
So that's what they call recidivism. But apart from that, the real thing I wanted to say was that he found out when the governor comes to say Independence Day or the day this was created, let's grant pardon to some people.
Pardon,
They now carry all those who meet the criteria deep inside and go and swap them with those who are very far from the criteria,
but they have money to settle.
and release them.
Oh.
So sometimes, you know,
Wait, so what's happening in Nigeria?
no, wait. So there's serious, you know they call fatigue. No matter how good the sprint that is, when the person is tired,
He's
tired. Nigerians are undergoing serious institutional fatigue.
Oh.
And it is difficult to tell what is right from what. You know, the intro was you were saying that we try to draw light out of darkness. Did you hear the chief of defense staff saying that it is impossible for 200,000 policemen to police
2 million for the person?
Is it possible?
To guide 200 million.
Why is the CDS the one saying that? Is it his business?
The serious fatigue.
We are not talking of police. Now, this is a sense of entitlement, though. Like they own internal security. So I remember one time when the senior colleague was talking on the TV program, and he said that he didn't think it would be proper to put a figure to the number of soldiers we have in Nigeria for security reasons. But that he knew that we didn't have enough soldiers to confront certain challenges.
We didn't have, now don't.
Now, but the question is, so now that the CDS has come to say it, and then as if he has any business with internal security, they will support him. But the army should never be the one, or the navy or ever should be not taking the lead in 11 years
matters
for policing issues. And yet it was so. And I can tell you, there's a lot going on.
Since the IG is not speaking,
That is on account of
the IG is not speaking.
a country in which a former AIG was calling Sega links, said, "Police has arrested my son, please help me." Wait, help me now. You see the time AIG and DIG call Sega links, say, please.
Alright, so
You know this impunity.
you can be calling private citizen.
I'm coming. There's a young man working with me. The school misspelled his name on the certificate. According to his own story. When he was notified, he had to go to the school. They told him to pay 10,000 naira as to effect the changes. He wrote to them. All of those things are part of impunity that makes institutions to go without punishment. Or if you misspell my name, why should I bear any cost?
Why should you pay?
If you dwell on this thing,
I'm coming.
I'll be very upset.
You give client. Now it's like saying I write my letter to the priest. You know that
Mistake, I should pay for it.
I paid.
Now I'm coming.
So my own institution, so I 993 certificate.
Me, I'll go to.
You know the case.
I should have gone to court too.
Yes.
But my colleagues and my HOD intervened and said, Jumoke, just collect it. How much is the money? Just collect your certificate.
collect it.
I wanted to do PhD. All my 3 certificates had my name spelled anyhow.
Mixed up.
Anyhow, the 3 certificates, one matric number.
Now, Jumoke, so you see now that our institutions over the years have not been walking to a place of strength, place of integrity, place of rectitude or forthrightness. Everything has been done like jambalaya. The EFCC they are talking about, you know, they are an aberration.
True.
The police.
It's an aberration.
Yes, now. EOS and DSS. So you find
Supposed to be the police.
so
because the police fail, you now form a different
you think that there will be angels, isn't it so?
True.
So after 21 years, what has EFCC become? You now form a new one. The problem we had
was because we found that CPC.
Yes.
Now from the EFCC.
We don't even believe, like we're worried and saying this case now, will EFCC truly investigate itself? Can the matter really come and hear the things they have said? You know that in 2 weeks' time,
We'll
the matter.
try
No, come on.
The investigation is one that was very tough because the people who concocted this offense are people who have knowledge of concealment of evidence. So it will be very tough. I just pray maybe they made mistake somewhere.
Enough.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's Bobrisky can show us.
You see the problem, right? Let me just wrap with this from my own side. The police is the EFCC is just policemen converted and called EFCC.
Yeah.
I hope you know.
They formed a different department because they thought we value
Hold on. The police have the DSS is police intelligence.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
EFCC, I think there's one of the SFIU also, financial intelligence unit. Yes, now.
Yes.
So all of these are these EFCC are policemen.
Yes.
Nobody was a policeman.
Yes.
Lamode, Mago,
Them.
policeman
From the
the Waziri was a police spy. Yes.
Under Waziri.
Except the current one.
No, before the last one was the first set everybody trained.
Who?
Your boy now.
Okay.
That was fainting. Wow. Talking about.
Wait. Now, see where I'm going with this whole issue. If you can look at the way policemen behave, normal ordinary policemen behave, why do you think that those in the EFCC
will behave normally
differently?
Why should they behave different? Why? Under what obligation?
So I hear you talk about concealment of evidence. It is the person who knows how to prepare evidence for trial that also is best skilled to destroy evidence from trial.
Yes.
Is that not so?
Yes.
That is it. When you have the knowledge of it. So what else? What do you know?
Who is EFCC guarding? Or what is EFCC guarding against? The conversation will continue online. We'll take a short break right now. When we return, the juror from Rabbi has a call for urgent propitiation in the Temple of Justice. But what's this accusation? Find out in a bit. Please stay with us.
Welcome back to the middleman of jurors. My case. Ethics is knowing the difference between what you have a right to do and what is right to do. Defaming a priest in the temple of justice. Defamation is a civil wrong taught in Nigeria that can lead to a lawsuit. It involves making false statements about another person that damages their reputation. There are two main types of defamation. Libel, that's written defamation, and slander, spoken defamation. To prove defamation in Nigeria, the plaintiff must show that the statement was false, caused injury to their reputation, and was not protected by any privilege or defense. Defense to defamation claims in Nigeria include truth, fair comment, honest opinion, and privilege, e.g. statement made in illegal proceedings. Remedies for successful defamation claim in Nigeria can include monetary damages, injunction to stop further publication, and apologies. Nigerian's constitution provides for freedom of expression, but this can be limited to prevent abuse, including false statements that damage reputations. Nigerian Cybercrime Act 2015 also addresses online defamation and imposes penalty for the transmission of false digital communication. Defamation lawsuits are fairly common in Nigeria, though the laws and their application can sometimes be complex. Consulting a Nigerian legal practitioner is advisable for specific cases. The publisher of a defamatory statement must be ready to face the consequences of his actions at all times. When you disparage a person's reputation in the eyes of the right-thinking members of society, you have committed a civil wrong actionable in law. It does not matter the medium or platform deployed. What is important is that the third party was reached with that information the act is committed. My verdict: in the very dark man's case, defamation is deducible from his action, and his resolve in denial that he did not defame the foreigners is unfortunate, because that video put out the foreigner in bad lights. The apology demanded by the chambers of foreigner would have toned down the tension if the very dark man was properly guided. You cannot throw caution to the wind at all times to upstage an idea or hate. Count the cost of the fight before you set out to the ring. A good legal advice can save you all the stress and put you in the right frame of reference in the case under consideration. I shall go to Rabbi again.
I think very dark man needs not just a lawyer, he also needs a manager, because the GID is just fresh from law school. Well, I hope you will not send him to the pieces.
That's exactly what it is doing. That's what it is doing.
Look, in defamatory suits, right? Normally, as the lawyer is initiating that first letter, they've already been telling you, look, you're liable to the tune of 1 billion, 2 billion, 100 million, 500 million. The foreign chambers, they're just giving you warning and saying, sir, in the next 24 hours, just on the same platforms that you publish the defamation, go and apologize that you did not know. You in his wisdom said, Oga, you have even confirmed that the video in question is true by saying to us that Bobrisky called you. It's not you who called Bobrisky. So therefore, instead of chasing defamation, you will focus on the matter at hand. My own submission. May the GID not lead very dark man. Let me call this government again. Martin Vincent Ose to jail.
Well, I think if we look at it, actually, this thing may land a lot of people in trouble. Yes, and it's already exposing things that, one thing about Nigeria is this. A lot of people are engaged in
shady deals.
Is this shady deals? What would, in some countries like China, actually lead to execution? Yes. Very, horrendous crimes against the state. Yes. There are a lot of people in government and private sector. Yes. Somebody was telling me about a deal where some people made 35 million for doing nothing. And all they just said is, okay, you pay 20 million to one government agency to show that something was done in the name of government. But you know the funny thing? That 20 million is not going to the agency of government. I'm saying
no.
They are not going to retire it.
No. It will be. It will be. What is the word to use now? It will be placed. It will be couched in the fact that okay, it was paid to government. But whether the ship,
it will not be retired to the government coffers. It will be. They will hijack it like
it was agreed, and the money was shared.
Jesus.
Somebody got 2.5 million for doing nothing, as in just like that. But because so, and then the other things. Let me tell you, some of these contracts, when you call up people, this contract or this and this, I learned that what is
because government officials have already collected more than half of the money.
No, that one was
the contractor can no longer able to do
the Public Procurement Act has been changed. So they don't pay you like Richard Guy's when they were paying the what do you call it, mobilization fee.
Yeah, they don't pay that. Now you go and source the fund.
So you don't even source any fund. You know the difference in Ireland is that government officials have their own construction companies. So what you do, you will agree with them. This is how much we go to those officials. And then you the contractor, this is what we go to you. Are you okay? If you're okay,
They'll go to the work.
But this has been ongoing on.
this whether they go and do the work or not do the work. But didn't you read that ICPC forced like 50 or was it 500 contractors back to site? 500, yes, is a current issue. 500 contractors back to site.
You see, the third mainland bridge that has just been renovated. They are already proposing another 40 billion to renovate it again.
Yes.
So back to Barry's disappointment,
back to this
because he brought the propaganda video. I said I don't trust his work. He said, he said, for once believe them. I said, okay, let us wait. He didn't take
What are they going to repair?
They said they're going to do resurfacing that time.
What are they doing now?
Resurfacing that has made people to
Now
their account.
40 billion.
Do you know the thing? Back to this Falano.
Nigeria.
Let me tell you something.
You will be sane.
Let me tell you
Skepticism that you will without TVC.
that name Falano was used deliberately. It's not a mistake.
No.
It's a hook now. It's a deal. It's something. If not for the name Falano, people will not be interested in the case.
True. Very true. Me, I'm actually mentioning very dark man for the first time.
If you remember under the term of Bauer, the former Efcc chairman, somehow they dragged Falano's case.
Yes.
He bought a house.
Yes.
On the Efcc.
I remember then.
So you see, the way information.
But that one was false.
No, this one is false. And the thing for Falano is this. He will continue to fight. But you see, that's one of the problems of being goldfish, because your name, once they just put it in the wrong way, will sell the
headline.
You will fight here,
It will go viral.
they will bring another one here, they'll bring that.
So you will not be fighting left, right, and center.
Carry that one. If you send him to jail, who have you sent to jail? You didn't send anybody.
Except that
if you send
Falano put out his address and we all know where it is.
Not Falano that put out his address. It was Jollof. Yes. He was having problem with very dark man and Jollof.
So what is the point that I didn't know very dark man again?
No,
Falano's letter put out his address.
yes,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, what is Jollof? I would not have known very dark man or Jollof.
Before today, Jollof is an SSA to the governor of Delta State. Okay. So before today,
look at that, I didn't even know.
But
they have already put out
look at what
address
discussing
by
public policy.
no, it's very important to discuss it. Do you know what?
no when it comes to damage like this, institutional damage or human capital damage,
Yes.
it does not matter who is involved. We have to call the names.
I know.
It's an entity. It's a Nigerian.
Let me ask you something. Some people last week hung a banner somewhere in the US and said Kamala Harris is an idiot in public. They actually took a video of them hanging.
That is ground democracy. That's a bigger democracy we are dealing with.
Look at the AI video. The video where they claim that there were two ladies that were in a video with PDD. There is this video out now where they're claiming that one of the ladies was Kamala Harris. But thank God some people responded to that video and mentioned the name
of the real lady.
Before
they use AI to manipulate it.
Deep fake.
Something else. Something else. Yes, it's good that Falano has, said he should apologize. But that won't be the end of people throwing stones at him. Because I noticed one strange thing about us Nigerians.
Very true.
It's as if we are come to take poverty, slow veganess, living from out to man as a better condition for all Nigerians. So anybody who is saying
people have been reduced to that now.
I had a saying, tell us that thing that you normally say, that Nigerians have made an agreement or something with poverty.
Yes, they have
a covenant.
Yes, they have a covenant with poverty. Anytime they have the opportunity to change their story, they go sell their votes. When they remember their communion with poverty, they pull out from that thread and go back because they are scared of breakthrough. They are scared. They don't know what it looks like. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I will not be able to afford everything I need. All of a sudden, Nigeria will not, because it's scary.
Look at it.
So they choose to go back to commune with poverty.
What is going on abroad, among the leaders abroad now? Nigerian women living abroad suddenly begin to see how life can really be
Freedom.
and then they start dealing with their husbands.
Yeah.
The extent that there was this video about a Nigerian policeman,
It's very common.
that came out to say, stop coming to report your husband. So you just wonder.
It's very common.
Nigerians.
Yes. Yeah, I remember a case in the US where a woman had gone to complain and then they told her now family matters are protected under the United States Constitution. That's not every time you just be, even family communication, phone communication, all that they are protected under the Nigerian Constitution, Section 37. Protect family conversation. The family is sacred. It's the smallest unit of society.
True.
There are a lot of laws that protect it because the moment it's destroyed, everything is destroyed.
True.
So they had to tell them that, because the truth is that we largely so in Nigeria, marriage is actually a poverty alleviation program. Most times, no, but that's the truth.
Yes, true.
Most times, the woman is coming from a wretched background.
Yeah.
Sometimes, the man is coming from a wretched background, and other times, both of them are coming from wretchedness. You understand? So once they get abroad, the first person that is easily influenced by the wow, everything is the woman. Then she begins to understand. Once she starts meeting this Nigerian meeting, they have some old cargoes, dinosaurs that have been abroad. They are lost already. They've been there for years. They know all the laws. They know all the domestic, whatever it is. Once she starts to listen to them, the next thing that she starts to look down at you. You are the one who sponsored the trip abroad. She's there now. She begins to feel bigger, some kind of importance that makes no sense, that destroys family. Whatever it is, there's nothing in this world that's bigger than family.
True.
Nothing. Just keep fooling yourself to believe that you have now become one thing, detached from family. You are not looking at family as we against them in your own home. So yeah, it doesn't end well all the time. And
it doesn't end well. Very dark person said Falana and his son. Fowls. Whereas you were referring to fowls.
You are referring to fowls. You not drag the man.
Drag his father in.
Then he prayed. Which is very sad.
Anyway,
and when you look at
his sponsors will have to come and because EFCC has written him.
Who do you know? But look at it.
Yes, Falana has replied him. EFCC has also written.
Even after Julie Emeka.
No, where's yes.
For me, I don't even think it's deliberate. I think it's just
ignorance.
Yes, ignorance, a lack of knowledge, a lack of what to say. He wants to make the case big.
So he hasn't told me.
You understand? So he's not saying I'm very disappointed. These are the people I look up to. You understand? He went fast saying Abi as far as they do, referring to reality. Yes, now if you look at it now, it's
Francis lawyers put it in the
yes. Now
they did nicely omitted that part in his own response.
They just not listen. So now see, look at it. If you go to Twitter where they have that letter under the thread, you see where people are saying Bobrisky husband don't talk, referring to fast.
Imagine. So
now you see that the seed of defamation is growing. And you come out and say it's not defamation. But the seed you have sown is growing. There are people on this social media that don't believe anything except it's on social media. True. They don't believe anything outside social media.
No, because they don't read newspaper.
So they have those ones are already disparaging fast in the family. So that's defamation need not be published to the whole world. Once it is published to one person, a third party.
It's enough.
And it does not matter the channel. Once one person has gotten it, then you have defamed the person.
How many years did
you have to? It's a civil case. The penalty is actually damages. Then they ask him to go and but you can still end up in jail too, because if you refuse to pay, they will now file a case to bring you to court to come and show cause why this man action should not be taken against you. When you come, you could not show that they will now file the second document to commit the person to prison. So whichever way you look at it, is either you are paying the billions, million, whatever, or
you are going to
so prison. The best thing to do
is to avoid it.
The lawyer ought not to have written that he was not defamed.
He was not defamatory.
Well, you need to also know what defamation is as well before you can even communicate.
This is an interesting legal case.
Okay. Yeah.
There was a time a governor arrested a journalist. They broke bottles and shaved his hair.
I remember.
Yes, put him behind bars.
I remember.
The man took a lawyer, Ganifa, and he came to Port Harcourt. 75, I think 77, 76. That journalist's wife was 8 months pregnant. The case went on. The state government lost, and Mr. Mackley won. I like when these kind of matters come up, whether right or wrong. The quality of legal representation, very dark man wants to use it, is also an interesting side.
No, you should go.
Where are we to sit down here and disparage? Do you understand?
Disparage lawyer.
No, please leave him. He knows what he's doing. So let this matter.
Very actually come to you very soon.
Let this matter take.
These people,
But you see, no. The thing is this: Femi Falana is an activist. He's a well-known titan in that
space. You now go and choose a baby lawyer.
He's not a baby lawyer. Dejade Andrew has made a
No, he has a right to any counsel of it.
Yes, you follow me now.
I follow you. Follow my word.
Sorry, Dejade Andrew has made has sufficient mileage in Nigeria.
Yes.
So it will be nice to see these people go to court and do the legal fireworks. Look, Adeyanju was among the lawyers that went to free the president. So you people are sitting.
What offense does president commit?
You are thinking that
Which offense does president commit?
well, in the eyes of some people,
imagine
He just followed people
we are here
somewhere.
thinking that he will not be a good lawyer. Please, I don't buy into that.
after somebody became an SCN because and then he was put in the thing and he filed that became an SCN. I won't mention his name, but well, this is Nigeria.
So when we return, this is not the only case on justice, as juror Cyril Abaku will be crying for justice for ex-soldier Ruth Ogunleye. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome back. This is still the Middleman. My case, justice for Ruth Ogunleye. My case this week is about Ruth Ogunleye, formerly of the Nigerian Army, not anymore. The story of the young lady dates back to January 9, 2024, when she took to social media to blow the whistle on the alleged harassment meted against her by one Colonel I.B. Abdul Karim, allegedly. Ms. Ogunleye's list of accusations against the colonel include the fact that she was raped and put in a casket. She also said she was injected, had a gun pointed at her, was handcuffed, and kept inside an office for some days. She said she was declared mentally ill following her complaints and restricted to a psychiatric facility for 7 months with her salary frozen for a year. That's quite a mountain of allegations, if you ask me. Now, 8 months later, the army has sent her away, saying she's mentally ill. My verdict: I want to join my voice with Roots. The army should publish the outcome of its investigation for the public to see. That way, like Caesar's wife, they will be above blame.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about Private Ruth Ogunleye's story is that once the army by themselves published that she had been dismissed, the Nigerian public went on her side, saying, you people will always ask women to speak up when they are sexually harassed. This is why women keep quiet. Because somebody comes out with allegations this many, this profound, and what you say to her is that you're mentally ill, we sack you. Of course, the allegations are against her superior. Of course, she's working against the institution. Of course, if there are many perpetrators like the colonel within the army, if they're, alleged, like he's accused, if they're perpetrators like him, standing accused, of course they're going to investigate and say, oh, get away, how can you come and accuse your superior, right? So I absolutely agree with your verdict, Juror Cyril Abaku, to say that the Nigerian army must publish their findings on her investigation. The way she has been dismissed will not allow any other woman in the army who is being harassed to speak out. They would want to save their lives.
Just to add some color and light to what I to the case here, the sort of thing Ruth Ogunleye has complained about is what a soldier could have been captured, let's say in battle, tortured, even not extract information. And these people are trained to withstand such horror.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, for you to join the army, you ought to have mental and physical fitness to a very healthy degree.
Yeah.
So is it that she was mentally unwell from the beginning and she skilled and she entered the army? Or it was in the army she began to develop mental, and so what really caused her to become, if at all it was true?
No. The point also is that it's not just to ask the question whether at what point did she become mentally derailed. No, that's not enough. It's to state that the institution declaring her mentally ill have no capacity
to do that.
Even if the army have MRS, they have hospitals and all that, they don't have specialized psychiatry. It's general medicine they do. My father was in the Air Force. My father was in the MRS. He was in medicals. What I know they do is general medicine. They don't have specialization. Specialization, they take soldiers who are mentally ill to psychiatric, which is outside. You understand? So, first of all, the authority that's declaring her mentally ill have no capacity or scientific authority to so do. They failed from there. Okay, then two is your expression. That is it that when she was being recruited,
they did not do the mental examination.
Mental illness was not detected. So it's only now that she's accusing a superior of rape, of torture, and all that suddenly she's now mentally ill. And they're now using that as the basis of her sack. We have to revisit that issue. Whoever it is that put up that decision, whether it's the chief of army staff or whoever did that, cannot do so without giving scientific proof. And that scientific proof must be tendered before a law court. Before you can say someone it's even further abuse that comes with stigma. To say
that she's mentally ill.
When you are not an authority that have capacity to so declare.
So she has a legal right. She has
her case is not just that of rape, of torture, and all that. Her case is also a case of defamation.
Yes.
Defamation. Yes. Criminal defamation.
Yeah.
And this should not go down this way. We must do something about, file a case against the army. They will come to court and tender evidence as to how they come to that conclusion. If they had used their medical facility to so do, then it's medical negligence. We have so many cases in this short story to determine. And I know Nigerians should be treated this way. This is not a foreigner. Yes, she's not a foreigner. She's part of even if she's somebody you approach and she turned down or she made abusive comments and all that, the treatment you have meted at her is not commensurate with that act. And so this is wrong. Very wrong. And this is the reason why young boys, young girls don't want to join the army. They don't, because the superiors have a way of they own you. Yes, they maltreat them, and the way they treat them, it doesn't show any sense of belonging.
There's a case of a junior military officer who has been in detention for 6 months, been in custody for 6 years without trial.
How about the one that was shot, that is now going about begging? His monument and everything have been seized. Then it's all about the place looking for money to treat himself.
Oh my God.
But the Tinubu's administration has come out to say that they want to clear all outstanding pensions.
No, the problem is beyond that. The young man that was detained for 6 years that they said they're investigating. Because on this table I raised the issue, maybe not on this program. I said, why aren't you able to establish early enough whether his detention was even proper or not? So I'll suspend the person who ordered his detention, because somebody should not be in the system while he's being investigated. He will compromise the whole process.
So asking the army to
6 years behind bars.
Asking the army to publish a report cannot be the way to go.
Because they will not.
They will even not. First, even if they publish it, they're going to doctor it now. They won't expose themselves.
Very true.
So the guy will commence an action against the
Against
Nigerian
the army.
Even women's rights groups
Yes, so
should raise it as a call to action.
It's wrong.
One thing,
the Minister of Women Affairs has been buying services.
It's against the Geneva Convention.
it's in the story. That's not desire.
One of the protocols of Geneva Convention deals more on protecting soldiers, and that's the essence why they created the Red Cross, to take care of wounded soldiers in times of armed conflict.
Have you noticed that
This is not
even a red beret?
This is not even armed conflict.
She's a private in the army.
Jumoke, let me just shock you. You know, when he said that it was the minister that told the lady to resign, and you were aghast.
Yes.
But let me add this for you. There was somebody who attended a program in Lagos. It was a public forum, and they were talking. And he said that he spoke with a minister in government back then. And the minister said that even he doesn't know that hopefully if government.
And then he was thinking, who is government?
Nobody knows where the Nigerian government is. It's on the
Baba that's not the government. Baba Baba is not question. When is that the presidency has announced?
Yes, sir.
Who is
the presidency? True, I remember.
Nobody knows where the Nigerian government is. And frankly speaking, the Ruth Ogunle, she may just be one out of many, but if we don't serve justice to one, how can we serve
you
justice?
remember one military officer was there
Very-
last year committed suicide? One day or something. You know, committed was said to have, taken
His whole life.
why? You know, there was certain issue that came up in the military. So I think the military, Nigerian military should know that yes, it's protected by well.
They are protecting themselves.
This is the 21st century.
The-
And there must be transparency, which, for instance, on the forum of Nigerian editors, I raised that matter. When the others say that the ombudsman of the Nigerian media had told the Daily Trust that reporting on the Samoa agreement was inaccurate. The Minister of Information now released a statement that said that the report was false. I know there's an issue. I said, when did the federal government, which is a party to the case, become a judge
In his own matter.
Now, when did inaccurate and false
Become the same thing.
I said we're talking about semantics.
True.
I want to very important. Then I said the ombudsman actually said that the government escalated the government for not showing transparency in allowing the media access to the information. So, but the minister's statement
Didn't say anything
about that, and I said that is telling. That says a lot about the unwillingness of the Nigerian government
To honor.
So you see, these are the things. Lack of transparency, opaqueness in everything is in pain. And Nigerians, unfortunately, a lot of Nigerians believe that it's okay. After all, you can allow it. You know, I remember when the journalist once told me that, are you saying that if the president says something, you can doubt it?
Why don't you doubt
Nigeria? I said, let me tell you, whatever the president says, I doubt it. Because I remember a former president of the United States, well, Google it. He was on a foreign trip and made a comment about the dollar, which affected the dollar. Quickly, the White House had to issue a rebuttal because it affected. Immediately, they had to issue a rebuttal, and they had to cut out that aspect. So transparency is very important. But sadly, Nigerians, the power we have, power of information, the right to know, we are not using it in ways that will affect society positively. And that is the start.
No, but I agree with you. You know, earlier I was talking about this problem of impunity, institutional fatigue, and that so if you wrote to certain people and say, okay, by FY Act, I want to release this to me.
For where?
So what do you know?
Yes, actually arrested some people who wrote to the state government asking, an FY request asking. I mean,
they started chasing people up and down.
I just wonder what there are certain institutions that should be scrapped in this country. As a matter of fact, yes, because they will believe their usefulness. They have no use.
The Tinubu administration is well known for arresting journalists who ask questions.
In the history of Nigeria, the Tinubu administration have arrested more journalists have abducted more journalists than any other administration. Some of them have not been seen to date.
77 accounting.
Yes, have not been seen. And this same government were part of those who fought against that same activity during the military era.
Purportedly.
Yes, so it tells you that, this government have no direction. That's the first thing. They're talking about the reshuffling cabinet. That when they reshuffle cabinet, they will not.
Reshuffling which cabinet? Who is working in the cabinet?
I ask the question that what is the vision of this government?
Well,
If you are reshuffling the cabinet, where is it to where? Where are you going to? Does the government have a vision?
It's the unfortunate thing, and just when you think that you have heard or seen the worst,
something else.
It's slammed in your face. And that's what we heard now. When we return, Juremeka Madunogo returns this week as the examiner, peeping into the crisis over Nigerian petrol. Stay with us.
You're welcome back. I hope you're enjoying the thoughts being expressed on the middleman. My case, random thoughts on Nigeria's petrol crisis. Over the last few days, I've been ruminating on Nigeria's petroleum products quagmire, examining the twists and turns, I beg your pardon, made me come to the conclusion that Presidents Muhammad Buhari and Bola Tinubu want golden opportunities to end the decades-old problem. Though Buhari and his deputy, then Professor Yemi Osunbachi, spoke regularly about private refineries, they stopped short of utilizing them as a game changer for the sector. Same thing happened to Tinubu, who recklessly proclaimed an end to fuel subsidy at his May 29, 2023 inauguration, without taking time to study the situation. Rather, both men, that is, Buhari and Tinubu, chose to make deals with foreign refineries and sustain the importation of petroleum products, rather than channel the funds into local private refineries. The result was that while Buhari's administration said it will take up 20% shares in each refinery, that is private refinery, through the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Tinubu scaled it down to 7.2% or a mere $120 million in the biggest of them all, Dangote Refinery, according to the top official of this administration. The top official, who spoke in confidence, said that downscaling was a inevitable decision as it put the Tinubu administration in a tight corner in negotiating with Dangote. The result was all the intrigue that delayed the takeoff of the refinery. They also said the Tinubu administration was misled into continuing with blissful turnaround maintenance tap on the 4 state-owned refineries. In this summation, these 4 state-owned refineries are obsolete. That is, in layman's language, they are dead. So the Tinubu administration is in a tight fix as to whether to be paying subsidy to Dangote so as to bring down the price of petroleum products, and also to the other private refineries, or scrap subsidy outrightly and allow the prices of petroleum products to float like the weak naira. By then, all this was due to bad politics. Tinubu's advisors, when he came in, were more interested in talking endlessly about whether Dangote supported his presidential bid or not. Thus, they didn't see the huge opportunity that Buhari missed. Just imagine if government had invested in 5.4 trillion naira, it claimed to have paid on subsidy in more than a year. Instead, in Dangote and other private refineries, just imagine if that money had been channeled into those 16 private refineries. It's not too late to change course and stop the importation of petroleum products. That's my case.
So Dangote is advising President Tinubu to remove the subsidy that President Tinubu removed on May 29, 2023.
The portion that's yet to be removed.
Are you still there?
Now the recovery.
If you discuss Nigeria and you understand her,
You are understand. You don't know Nigeria.
Understand.
You know that.
No, but the famous gets clear. Let us
we more cloudy because
that famous debate where Bush Senior and Reagan were vying for the Republican ticket. After Reagan copiously explained what was Bush said this is voodoo economics.
It was a lopsided.
Voodoo economics.
No, the economics, Nigerian economics is embedded with witchcraft. That is why Adam Smith couldn't have thought of. But you see, Nigerian's case is an exception. You've forgotten the market forces economics that flooded the TV screen. Then they were telling us how market forces.
We'll bring down the price of petrol.
You recall me
Well,
I said it here.
that but
That the bad damn good time.
You know what this government was
I said
doing?
it.
Says that after all, government has paid down with $150 million.
For a share.
But yet, they shot themselves in the foot.
For a share.
When that hotel was calling on them, come and take
20%.
the one unpaid for.
You know,
For more than a year, he was waiting for them.
actually, because
They slowed him down now.
if you had given them to take 200,000 barrels per day, just look at the shameful scenario. There is one oil company in Nigeria, the indigenous oil company, that provided a facility for government, and they said they should be taking 30,000 barrels per day. There's another company again. You did the same thing. You went to Efcc Bank.
What are they doing
You
with
took
the loan?
$3.3 million. Now, let me tell you something. If you look at the cost of operations between January and June, if Nigeria had just made an effort to say, okay, let's be realistic. We're not producing up to 1.7 because OPEC, exposed the line.
Yeah, that was not too.
Producing 1.6, 1.7 million. That's like 1.3 million barrels per day.
We knew it.
So, fine. If you had just cut down on the cost of operations, because I've actually discussed with some people knowledgeable about the industry, I said, if you reduce the cost of operations, that the money you borrow from that Efcc Bank and all the money Buhari borrowed with our oil, that instead we would have made it locally and maybe use it, to
pay off.
better. Yeah, to do so many things. Now, you look at another scenario. You said that Oshibajo that time kept talking about modern refineries. You know, said okay, you're going to take 20% in each of the refineries.
The ones that you are trying to fire in. Oh, I mean,
now
The modular refinery, yeah.
No.
The one they were destroying now.
Now, the other thing is this. No, not those ones are the co-fire. Those ones are. It was licensed by them.
okay.
So now, if they had done that, if they had called all those people to say, okay, let's work out a deal. So the implement, for instance, would not have lost what he lost to oil theft, because that would have been government would have insured it. Government would have insured those losses and made sure that Tony Elimin was able to get to the point of starting his refinery. Boa would have started his refinery by now. There is one in Delta State, I think in Kwale.
Yeah.
That would have started by now. I'm coming. So
I hear because of the
Midwest oil.
that the people buying our oil now, official, not the ones that are still, instead of going to the end of the pipe, now they carry their shit straight.
people carry their baggage.
Just all this analysis we're doing all this while. NNPC not coming forth to pay up those shares and everything. They had a plan. NNPC was working across purpose with the federal government. They were just doing all that. They were interested in being a vendor. With their 4 moribund refineries.
Yes.
Their interest, that's why they open bid, say that people should come and take
from explorer to supplier.
Yeah, they became a vendor. Where their mind is the end product. Is the money ready? If we take off now, once we off take, we are selling and we're getting money immediately. They are not thinking about Nigerians in the long term.
Oh.
That is why before the product became ready, they hijacked the price up. So Dangote could not come down. Then they said Dangote sold to them at 898. Yeah, Dangote came out and said no. That we didn't sell you that. But Dangote was also scared of mentioning the price he sold to them.
For those Mobile, the former Mobile, 11 PLC, 8 Iran and others, now came out and said it was 766 now.
766, but they were now they wanted to justify that 900 plus. They want to justify so that they will say that we bought 898. Then our profit margin on this will not be.
naira.
Yeah, will not be. So if you are buying in Lagos, you will buy this. If you are buying here, you buy that. So
But
the
all has fallen flat.
it's going to fall now.
Because now, what's on the table is this NNPC. If you want XYZ price, you want to bring that price, or you pay us the subsidy that you have been paying to people to enforce.
So subsidy is back.
No, that is that's why that subsidy.
Subsidy is back in the discussion.
On Global TV told them,
Yeah, the interview. Yeah.
remove subsidy totally. Let's even stop all this merry-go-round. Remove subsidy and let's know where we are. Then you will know why my name is Aliko Dangote. You know, because of course we will just pull the rug from off under their feet.
Mm-hmm.
You see, all business is about volume. It's not like cement where you are selling one bag. Okay, sell one bag, you get 500 naira, 1,000 naira. It's about volume.
If you are making 1 naira on each liter,
The more you
before you sell, it's more money.
your profit is not even apparent as you are selling. It is about convert. The more your volume rise and remains constant, then you offset your cost. Because if you look at it, 1 barrel of crude is 159 liters. 53% of that is actually turned into petrol.
Yeah.
So how will you not? Will it not be easy? The 3 main products that Nigeria uses:
Petrol, diesel, kerosene.
No, but aviation
You know, just in aviation fuel. So meanwhile, 1 barrel can give you 40 products. If you scale that petrol, and if it's okay, because of for Nigeria's interest, okay, let's make it 53%. All right, and then what we'll do is that the remaining, we will do a trade. We'll do a trading, you know, and say, okay, this is how we want it. This is how we want it. You will see that in between, there's so much money that NNPC can make as profit. That's why Dangote is also saying he doesn't want to go into the upstream, so that you don't hold in hostage there. So you can buy crude from any part of the world,
downstream.
the next thing
And
you
do his business.
and blend it here. You can set up a blending plant here on Togo. Blend different types of crude. Sell it. If Nigerians want petrol of 600 naira, Dangote can give it to them. Even 500 naira can give it to them. Yes. But the thing is that the owners of the other private refineries are fighting back, so that Dangote doesn't crowd them out because they don't have the capacity.
Yeah, they have not
And the
started.
muscle they have. But let me tell you something. You see those 4 refineries. I get a good authority that government has done an honest analysis. The only one that government thinks even has a chance of breathing, you know, maybe showing up is Kaduna Refinery to produce diesel, maybe to some extent. But you see the others.
The others, the one for that one, were not well advised. They are not.
That's what this one just.
Yeah.
So
They are
the
not.
thing is that
Those refineries cannot come to life.
as it all stands today, all these refineries are just scrap.
Even if they're able to function, they will end up producing something.
They can't produce even if 45,000 liters per day. You know, that's supposed to go to these 4 cities. If they had cleverly said, okay, Dangote, take 300,000 over the last 4 years, or if Buhari had actually done it, Dangote refinery by now would have gone very far. You remember another would have started the refineries. And do you know what? By now, it would have been a big game changer.
Elmalu got licensed over 3 years. 3
You
years.
shouldn't have come out to say subsidy is gone because there was no need. Dangote was there, but some people close to Tinubu made him put it. And now you are listening to IMF and World Bank that want you to continue to buy
International crude oil.
from international refiners. International refiners who have seen the handwriting on the wall. That Nigerians are getting desperate.
They are shutting down.
So you know what they are? Let's somewhere that they have
no.
now moved to a part of the United States and all that where demand is high.
Yeah.
So in anticipation, because they know that when Nigerians keep up pressure on this
Cheap oil.
that
Dangote.
but Dangote now went on Global TV and was playing some kind of game with figures. He was caught out on it. That Nigerian petrol is cheaper than Saudi Arabia. Whereas Saudi Arabia produces more than Nigeria. So one thing I do know is that Nigerians, I'll just say Nigerians should keep up the pressure. Keep up the pressure. You can see already the fear over the fearless October
October
made them. They are now dashing money to everybody. They want to pay everybody's pension.
They started
just
okay.
expect more.
Mm.
NYSC
Just like
so people
for
they forgot that the million will be 7,000.
That's a
Therefore-
no, they added that.
Yeah.
They added
They don't pay the citizens, but the other way around. So keep on the pressure.
Okay.
Because you see, this country belongs to us.
True.
We don't run away from this country for anybody.
True.
This
Yeah.
country belongs to us.
Yeah.
And you see that cheap fuel, it is our
It's our right.
it's our right.
Social
And we must get it. That fuel,
We must get it
calm
done.
down. Even if it won't, even if, and the other thing is that
It may not come less than
that's what I said, that if they start selling crude in naira, it will reduce, it will cut
Yeah,
down
no.
40%.
Yes.
Just dependent on
foreign exchange.
foreign exchange. So if it comes down to that, why won't the dollar, why would the naira exchange at
A higher price
800 naira, 900 naira
to the
on the
dollar.
dollar? Why? Because you move 40% from 1,650. How much remains?
Lower supply.
How much remains? So we must keep up. We must keep talking about it. Every opportunity we have, we must keep talking about it. I'm telling Nigerians, keep talking about it.
Juro.
These people in government, you may think they have power. They are cowards. They are cowards.
Juro.
Keep it up.
They don't have power.
We must enjoy
Juro,
what
Juro,
God has blessed this nation with.
Your advocacy today has been self-explanatory, has opened our eyes, and we will definitely keep up the pressure for cheaper fuel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's create a hashtag today to put pressure on the government to ensure that
Cheaper petrol.
the right thing is done. It's
Yeah.
our right, it's our socio-economic right.
It's the least we could ask for, frankly speaking.
Well, that's been our offering today on The Middlemen. As always, we invite you to join the conversation by commenting in the comment section and subscribing to all our platforms across social media on Enterprise TV 7. Our website is at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Until we come your way again, thanks and bye.